guys, it's Pros again and welcome back to my channel. So for this video, someone requested me to do this and I found that it would be something a little bit different to do. Also, I want to do different things. Like, this is a new year, I'm challenging myself to do different things and this is one of them. Now, I have realized that as an international student athlete, there are so many things that a lot of other, I guess, US citizens will not understand. There are my fellow student athletes that have graduated, that have done went on to do other things, but the transition for us is not always an easy one, and I want to talk about that today. So today I want to talk about being an international student athlete, what life is like coming before we come to school, what's life like going to school, and what is life like after we graduate. So let me just touch base on what is life like before we go to school. So just like everybody else, we have to go through taking the SATs or the ACT, because I know that's the ACT is heavily recommended here. So we have to take that. We have to make the minimum amount that we need to make for us to be able to get a scholarship. Now, a lot of Jamaican athletes, I want to say, get a lot of full-time scholarship because Jamaica is known for, you know, the sprint and being in track and field and stuff like that. However, a lot of us get partial scholarships or half athletic, half academic, because a lot of us have the brains to go behind the talent. So we have to make sure that we meet the standards that is there to go into the school to get the scholarships. And then, oh my gosh, let's talk about visas. So no, not just like American citizens, we can't just travel on our passports only. So we have to go through the process of getting something called the I-20, which is a document that basically states that we will be going to school abroad. And with that I-20, we have to go to the American embassy to get a visa. Now, we are on an F1 student visa. Alright, we go through that process, we get accepted, we get the I-20, we go to school. That's kind of the process that is before. However, we do talk to multiple schools, just like other people do, to get the right school that we think is best for us. A lot of the athletes who are higher up on hierarchy, who is like excelling, often get the chance to go and visit schools. For me, I did not get a chance to visit school because me going to school abroad was a very last minute thing. Yes, I took my SATs, but however, like, finding a school was not easy for me at all. And I honestly consider that I'm blessed because, you know, things happen. I met people, my father know people, and people know people, and then I ended up being at the school that I needed to be at. So that's the process of, you know, going to school as an international student athlete. Now, during school, there is a lot of things that we cannot do. So I know a lot of times we have friends who are just like, yeah, I gotta go to work, girl, I gotta make that moolah. Yeah, for us, we can't really work outside of being on campus. So if we do find a job, we can only work on campus because of the student visa that we have. It only restricts us to working on campus. So we can only work on campus and we can only work 20 hours per week. Now, mind you, I did say I'm a student athlete, so 20 hours per week. Just letting you know that being an athlete is almost a job in itself. Because I did not have to go through 5 a.m. practices and then this and then that. But what I had to go through was I had to go through 2-day practices. I practiced throwing with my coach and whosoever I was paired with. And then for about 2-3 hours outside. And then everybody had lifting at 5:30 or 6 o'clock. And then whenever we done is whenever we done. Sometimes we get done at 9:30. Sometimes we get done at 8. It might be a short workout, it might be a quick workout. But what I'm saying is that our time is also geared, like track and field in itself is a job. Track and field itself is a job. And then we have to think, hello, we are student athletes. So we have to be focused on being a student first before we can be an athlete, before we can be an athlete. So what happens is that a lot of time is also geared into school. We are there for school, you know, we're not here for just being an athlete, we're there for school. So let's just say we have school to think about, we have our practices that we have to endure, and then to pick up a job we can only do 20 hours on campus. So a lot of times you might hear us say that, you know, we might not have the cash to do this and that, and that is not because we don't want to go anywhere. Okay, so that's a part of that. However, monetary wise, how do we get money sometimes? You have sponsorships that sometimes take care of you. Sometimes you find families through churches that will give you a 1-2. Sometimes you actually have family in the United States or family back at home who can be, you know, afford to send you a little cash. But let me tell you how that goes with family back at home sending you money. The US dollar to the Jamaican dollar is not equivalent. I think and I believe that the US dollar is almost, $1 is almost 130 Jamaican dollars. That's a big gap difference. So when my mom or my dad said he's gonna send me $50, that's a lot of Jamaican money. You're thinking over 5,000, like it's a lot of money. So that's another thing. Okay, so we went through that, and then not to mention that when we're in season, we are gone every weekend. So those 20 hours normally get cut down on top of us training twice a day, us studying and going to class, because if we don't go to class and if we don't meet the requirements that we need to meet, we can easily get our scholarships cut. And I'm telling you, as I said, the amount of money Jamaican to US is not the same. So y'all thinking, okay, we just have to pay 3,000 US dollars. When you convert that to Jamaican money, that's a whole different story. Okay, so that's a whole different story. So we go through school, you know, we graduate. What is next for graduation? A lot of people always say, April, are you going to go back home, or what are you going to do? For international students, we have two options. Okay, let me tell you about these options, right? Option number one is either to get married to a US citizen so that we can get our citizenship, so that we don't have to go home after we are through with school. Now, the other option, which is what I'm trying to explore, because I ain't trying to get married to nobody that I do not love. I am trying to get married for the right reasons. So what the next option is to get to apply for a thing called OPT. I don't know what the acronym stands for, I'm sorry, I'm gonna look it up. But so what OPT allows you to do is that it allows you to work for a year after you graduate from whatever field you are in. However, it depends on what field of study you are in, depends on how many years of OPT you get to do, if that makes sense. If you're in a medical field, you get more than 1 year. If you're, I think, in any other field, you get only 1 year to work. So what happened, what I would advise to people, like I'm informing you, but I'm also telling you what, you know, I think I should have done. So when you're applying for the OPT, what had happened was you need to apply 90 days before you graduate. So a lot of times I always tell my friends that for me, I was on a quarter system where we had 3 semesters per year, and we call them 3 quarters, not semesters. For my friends, I would always advise them to, as soon as you know that, okay, you're graduating in the spring, as soon as spring hit, you head to the International Student Office and you tell them that I need to apply for my OPT. Now, getting jobs is not the easiest thing after, because a lot of times after we get the job, we either if the company wants to keep us, they have to sponsor or a long-term visa that allows us to stay and work, and not a lot of companies want to do that. They want somebody where they don't have to pay nothing, no hustle and bustle is not there. So for us finding jobs after that, it's very complicated. However, I would suggest to somebody that have 2 plans ready. Okay, so you're gonna apply for your OPT. Go ahead, boom, 30 days before, apply for it. Yes, it's a lot of money, but you need to save and figure out a way to do a little hustle. You know what I'm saying? So you do that. Okay, so you apply for your OPT. Bam. Now you know that getting a job is so hard, so what would I also advise you to do is, in the meantime, start looking at schools. You know that the schools are going to require you to take the GRE, GMAT, whatever it is. You go ahead and you start preparing for that. Now what you can do as it relates to going to school in the future, because that's another set of money, a lot of schools offer graduate assistantships, and that's what a lot of students end up doing after they graduate, is to work with a school. Graduate assistantships basically means that you will work for the school, however they don't pay you in cash, they pay you in paying for your tuition. A lot of times some of the contracts include paying for your rent, your food, stuff like that, but you don't get like a physical income, you know, every month. So what you do is you work for the school. A lot of times, and this is what I'm looking into going to work for a school in the track and field area who needs help with the throwing area, because that's what I have specialized in. Okay, so that's the 2 options that I would tell you about. It's like an information kind of what I would have done differently. But have two plans, because either one can go south. You can find a school and don't find a job. You can find a job and you don't find a school. So I would say have 2 plans that are running simultaneously towards each other, and then make your way on there. But like it's hard, I'm telling you guys, it's hard for international students, because what if we don't get a school that we can go to that can pay for our tuition? What if we don't get a job? Well, what do we have to do? Well, whenever our visa is out, we gotta be out too. Like, alright, pack up ship, time to go back to Jamaica. So it's kind of hard, and the transition is a lot hard. But what I would tell you to do is go to career fairs, Go talk to people, mingle, network, do all of these things, because you have to work extremely hard to be on top of things, because you are not a US citizen. A lot of companies might be like, yeah, they have the brains, they have the beauty, they have everything like that, but they don't have the visa. So like we gonna have to pay, and then to get them to sponsor your visa, like it's a lot of money. That's not just, we're talking about you have to pay for lawyers, you have to pay for shipping to go to get the papers to the government in Jamaica. You have to talk about going back and forth in between lawyers. You have to go, it's a lot. So the transition is not very easy. However, I would, you know, recommend that you have two plans. Have two plans before you leave. Is either you go to school, again, you go get your master's, or you get a second degree or something, but you either go do that or you do your OPT, and you kind of work with whatever. And then not most importantly, with planning, you have to pray, because if you don't pray, things will go all over the place. But I wanted to inform you guys a little bit about what it's like to be an international student athlete. Like I'm telling you, it's not the easiest thing, and I just wanted to just inform you and kind of tell you and advise you on what to do, you know, before, in between, and after with going to college. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was much different, and I hope you guys just like it. Like, let me know what else you want me to see, and then that's it. I love you guys, and I'll talk to you in another video. Mwah.